Greetings, brothers and sisters. Although I'm not in presence in the conference this year, I appreciate the opportunity to have a moment to share with you some of my ministry with ChristLife, particularly among bilingual communities or Spanish-speaking communities as well. Since my arrival in Sacred Heart Church in Danville, Virginia, the southern part of Virginia, as part of the staff, working as a coordinator for evangelization and adult faith formation, we embraced with the pastor the opportunity to provide ChristLife in the 3 stages, but in a bilingual way. And we averaged at least 60 participants every time we provided the whole 3-session program throughout the year. And we did it consistently for 4 or 5 times in my parish. Now it's my parish. I don't work there anymore. However, I'm a parishioner of Sacred Heart. So these opportunities and these experiences to share together and be together and gather together as a bilingual community, Spanish and English all together, was very transformative. First, to have parishioners who have been part of the same parish and community for many years and didn't have the opportunity to meet each other. It was very transformative in that way. Many people who have been part of the same community for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, and they didn't know even their own names. We also grew in deepening our relationship with God through the 3 stages of ChristLife in different ways, in a bilingual way, in a multicultural way. The fruits of this transformational opportunity in ministry were reflected in many ways for Sacred Heart. Through the years and after this 3-stage journey of ChristLife, we had many participants who joined the catechist programs, particularly RCIA, but also catechetical formation in all levels for formation and sacramental preparation. They were also involved in participating in the liturgy as lectors, ushers, or sacristans even. We had many ways in which also the ChristLife participants were involved and interested in going out and reach out to the community, going to nursing homes, retirement homes, to share with them the Word of God and to witness their own faith in the community. Typically, a ChristLife evening session will begin with a large gathering of all tables, English and Spanish, all together for prayer and worship. After that, after some brief announcements, we'll go into a meal if it's Discovering Christ. And then after that, we'll divide the large group into 2 groups according to their own language and going into the video presentation for the teaching. After that, we'll go back to the large group again, the big room, again, keeping that sense of integration in the same family. We are sharing the same room, the same spaces. We are part of the same community. And we will share and reflect about what we just watched in the video, some of our reflections and some of our sharing about the teachings and how these teachings have been affecting our relationship with God, or how are we growing into that relationship with God. And then after that, we will dismiss. And the icebreakers. So as you can see, the icebreakers and all the general activities will be given in both languages and all together. At first, we need to be clear, it's not easy. After seeing some of them participating into that, others will join. And that will bring the whole community together. When we started offering ChristLife in Sacred Heart, we only had Siguiendo Cristo, the first part of the program in Spanish. But from that very beginning, we realized, along with the ChristLife leadership, with Pete Ascosi, with Dave Notter and others, that the need to reach out to the bilingual communities and Spanish-speaking communities was not only a need, but also a call. As we know, the Spanish-speaking community, Hispanic culture in the Catholic Church is growing exponentially. So more than a numerical call, it's a spiritual call. It's a vocation. It's something that we need to consider as part of the prophetic call that God is putting in front of us. How are we dealing with that? How are we facing this future that God is presenting us? And that's how I think ChristLife started to think about how we can intentionally grow into producing more of these parts to be available in Spanish. And because of my background, I'm a professional video producer and media person in both English and Spanish. I became involved in the opportunity to provide and to produce ChristLife, Siguiendo Cristo, Following Christ, the second part of the program, totally in Spanish. So we embarked in creating ChristLife, Siguiendo Cristo, Following Christ, the second part of the program, totally in Spanish. I was in charge of providing the dubs and providing the adaptation into Spanish. So it won't be a literal translation, but an adaptation of what Dave wants to convey, not necessarily what is said in English, because we know that when we deal with dubs, we are talking about a certain amount of time with what the presenter is saying in such particular amount of words. But also we have the challenge of communicating exactly what Dave was trying to provide as a teaching, Dave or Father Eric or Ali. So we embarked into that. It was a prayerful process. I worked with some translators and talents in Peru, in Lima, Peru, and a production house there provided us with the talents. I was in charge of compiling all these and post-producing each one of the 7 episodes of Siguiendo a Cristo. So Siguiendo a Cristo was produced in a pastoral sense, not only in a literal sense. It was adapted, preserving the English content. So the sense of unity was developed in a more organic way. So we can have a more transparent teaching in both English and Spanish. Although my involvement with producing ChristLife, Siguiendo Cristo, Following Christ, was a professional role in trying to preserve the integrity of the message and the sense of unity in both languages, and we did it successfully. From the very beginning, it was clear that my involvement with ChristLife was not only from a media person perspective, but of a ministry. Because of my work, because of my ministry, because of the love that I have for God and the ways ChristLife has connected me with my own discipleship with God. So ChristLife has asked me to serve as a liaison for the Hispanic community. And I'm available to assist other parishes and help other communities to begin with the process. Again, just responding to a call, to this vocation to be one family, to bring us all together, English and Spanish, as one community in a parish. So the idea is to have more and more opportunities for ChristLife to be developed fully in Spanish and in English, and bring this sense of integration, because that's the future of the church. Our church is called to be one family, all together. That is ultimately our Christian calling. Go and make disciples of all nations. ChristLife embraces that. That's why I am so excited to have this opportunity to walk along ChristLife in this beautiful journey of evangelization in the Catholic Church. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I ask for your prayers for this project to continue bringing together the family, the people of God into one family in our country. Thank you.